What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why everything that a narcissist does is in the past. Why you can't bring up the past when you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person. Stay tuned, like, and subscribe. Thank you. So if you're dealing with a narcissist or toxic person, 5 minutes ago is the past, y'all. I mean, is it not? Is 5 minutes ago, is it the future? Is it the present? Or is it ago? 5 minutes ago is the past, is it not? In the mind of a lot of narcissists and toxic people, if it happened in the past, it's irrelevant right now, when it has to do with you. But you know the double standards exist with a lot of narcissists and toxic people as well, because if it affects me or if it affects the narcissistic person in your life, then it is absolutely relevant. They could go into a very, very long-winded conversation explaining why the past, when it affects me, is relevant, but when it affects you, is irrelevant. This is why I tell people right here, y'all, don't argue the truth with a narcissistic person, y'all. You'll waste a lot of time, effort, energy, just emotional stress or whatever, trying to argue what you already know to be true. If you have evidence, if you know the truth, just act on it, y'all. And to hold a narcissist accountable, you need some type of leverage over them. So welcome back, y'all. If you could read the text on the screen, it says, my husband literally tells me if it happened yesterday, it's the past. Because it is, y'all. It is the past, is it not? Let's just come closer to the camera real quick, y'all. Turn your volume up real quick. Okay, so something that happened yesterday, right? Yesterday, let's focus on this time period right here, y'all. Yeah, group gaslighting, a group manipulation session right here, y'all. So if it happened yesterday, right? So yesterday, okay, happened yesterday. So is yesterday the present? No, it's not the present. The present is right now. So is yesterday, yesterday, is it the future? Because the future is the time that hasn't happened yet. Oh, so yesterday is not the future? So what would that make yesterday? It's not the future, it's not the present. Is it the past? The past is something that has already happened, a previous time period. Yesterday is the past. Boom, gotcha. So is it not true? Is yesterday not the past? But you see, narcissistic people will tell you to stop living in the past when it doesn't benefit them. You hear me right there. Double standards exist in these toxic relationships. When it doesn't benefit them, yesterday is absolutely the past. But if it is of benefit to them, yesterday being the past is irrelevant. Did it not happen? You see what I'm saying? Double standards exist in these toxic relationship dynamics. You can't do what they get to do. I say this all the time, y'all. You can't do what they do. You just can't. You absolutely cannot do what they do. You can't get away with what they have done. And I tell it to people all the time. You don't get to get away with what they have gotten away with. Like if you're having an argument, if you have a disagreement with a narcissistic person, and they tell you like, look, it's 10 o'clock at night. Let's talk about this tomorrow. Yeah, it happened today, but let's talk about it tomorrow. I have to get to sleep and go to work. I have to go to sleep and go to work. So you get at home tomorrow from work. You try to talk about it. It's in the past. Can you just not let the past go? They set you up for it to be in the past. Why are you focusing on the past? It already happened, right? Learn to let the past go. You can't move forward by holding on to the past. Boom, got you. But if you do something that a narcissist wants to bring up, it's completely valid. I'm just saying it's always going to be in the past. If the past, as long as the past is not beneficial to this narcissistic person, then they're going to keep using it against you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, as long as it's not beneficial to them, they're going to just dismiss it as it not being as important. We are talking about right now. We're not talking about the past. The past is 5 minutes ago. That's in the past. We move forward. We made it to this point right now. Can we not move forward? But if you're arguing with the narcissist, they'll bring up the past on you. Like they'll hit you with a fireball from the past. What about 7 years ago when you told me you had got McDonald's, but you had actually got Chick-fil-A? What does that matter? What does it matter about McDonald's and Chick-fil-A? I made a mistake. No, I'm just trying to establish a baseline right here. I'm trying to establish a foundation right here. What kind of a foundation are you trying to establish? The foundation that you are a liar. You said you went to McDonald's, but you actually got Chick-fil-A. You lied. You've been lying for at least 7 years to me. So why, if you lied about something as small as the restaurant you went to, why should I believe anything you say right now? Oh my God, you bringing up the past. That's not, it's not relevant. It's relevant because it's important. The relevancy is important. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling you, it's almost, it's damn near impossible to argue with a narcissistic person. I think a lot of people, I think a lot of y'all already understand that that dynamic is true. It's impossible to argue with a narcissistic person. But some of y'all like arguing with narcissists. You know, so I think some of y'all come to my page looking for information on how to argue with narcissistic people. You know what I mean? If they, and here's a tip right here. If they bring up something, if you're arguing with a narcissistic person and they say it's in the past, can we let that go? Say no, we can't let it go until it's resolved. Like if it's resolved, we can let it go. Once there's conflict resolution, it's resolved, we can let it go. But Lee, that never works. Exactly. Exactly. It's not supposed to work. I'm just telling you, sometimes it's like banging it'd be better to go bang your head against the wall than to try to expect conflict resolution from a narcissistic person that is of benefit to you. It's almost impossible to do that, y'all. It's almost impossible to expect to have an equitable conflict resolution conversation with a narcissistic person, because they're going to use the past against you, but you cannot use the past against them. It's not equal, y'all. It's not equal. You know, all things in a toxic relationship with a narcissist are not going to be equal. And I hate having to say that to people, to repeat that to people, because people just like, well, there's no hope for my relationship. What hope are you getting? What if they're not willing to have a decent conversation with you? There could be where they can use the past against you, but you can't use the past against them. Where do you expect the equitable conversation to come from? You see what I'm saying? You're gonna be arguing in circles over and over again, and having these circular arguments with no resolution typically leads to greater explosive episodes later on. Because if they're not willing to address something that they've done in the past, but they're willing to hold you accountable for something that you've done, you're gonna be talking in circles, and sooner or later it's gonna come to a head and go boom. There's gonna be an explosion because there's no conflict resolution, and the person exploding might be you. And guess what happens when you explode? They record you on camera exploding, and now you look like the bad guy. Now you look crazy. I'm just telling you, there's no equitable way to have a conversation with a narcissist. But like, if you can try, like I said, you can try to say, hey, look, I know it's in the past, but it's relevant to the conversation right now. And then if they try to bring up something from the past on you, just say, hey, look, we'll handle that later. We'll talk about that later on. Right now, the focus is on you. If they keep trying to take it back to what you've done, bring it back to what they've done. Argue. You'll be arguing for hours though. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Anyways, y'all, let me cut this thing short. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all. Like and subscribe for more. And as always, mental illness is out. Peace.